There's a guy that emailed me that has a problem that many of you may be familiar with. I want to go over this email. I haven't done one of these videos where I discuss an email in a while here. I know a lot of you guys like that, but I'm going to break this down. I'm going to give you a solution for yourself on how to change your nature, how to stop doing things you don't want to do. So if you're addicted to stuff you shouldn't be doing, you should watch this video and stay till the end, because I'm going to give you some concrete advice that will help you to break any addiction. So we're going to jump right into the email here. He says, "Hi John, hope you can help me. I'm 30 years old. Maybe you can make a video about this. You have said before that you have to change your nature to change your behavior." He says, "In my case, I have tried to go cold turkey on watching porn and sexual gratification, but in the end, I can't sustain it. Part of the problem is I have never had a girlfriend and have been using hookers for the last 12 years. Although I plan on never seeing a hooker ever again in the future, as it damages my mental health and makes me depressed." So this is good. I mean, it's not good that you've been seeing hookers, obviously, for the last 12 years. But at least you're recognizing this, and that's a good step. I think it's a bad idea to go and see hookers, and the fact that he's never had a girlfriend, I'm gonna work on that. "I have a great body, but not where I want to be financially, so I need to work on that over the next 3 to 5 years to get to a place where I'm doing really well financially. At the moment, I have both an inferiority complex and a superiority complex, and I am narcissistic. I feel superior in the sense that I have a very muscular body, but inferior in terms of finances. It's actually common for narcissists to project superiority and hate towards others while deep down feeling inferior inside." I would say that, guess what? If you're watching this video, you are a narcissist. Everybody is a narcissist. Let me just put it that way, right? So is it normal to project superiority and hate towards others while deep down feeling inferior inside? Yes, we all do this, all right, to varying degrees. Now, I'm not saying that you're doing it right now and that you haven't grown, but this is our nature as human beings. We instinctively do this because we're dumb. This is what we do. I do this, you do this. We work on this. I've come a long way to not do this, but we think we're better, and we also feel insecure. This is the whole thing about imposter syndrome, about feeling like an imposter, is because we're trying to put up a front to convince ourselves of stuff that we don't believe ourselves. That's what arrogance is, the difference between arrogance and self-confidence. We'll talk about that in another video. So he says here, "I also have a bad habit of sexually gratifying myself through phone sex with hookers and masseuses as a means of sexual gratification, which is a waste of time and counterproductive. I tried going cold turkey in all these sexual impulses, but to no avail. How do I change my behavior to eliminate these behaviors? Is one way to just fap twice a week to relieve these sexual desires and then go cold turkey for the rest of the week on all my sexual desires?" Now, here's what I'm going to say about this. I want you guys to understand. The plan is not to manage things. When I talk about changing your nature, your behaviors come from your nature. In the membership, I've got a video. I'm going to give you a quick recap of it. It's called The Rubber Band Theory. You can check it out. If you're a member, watch that rubber band video. If you're not a member, go join and watch the video. I mean, for $7, trust me, for the first month, it'll be worth it. It'll change your life if you're struggling with this. Don't be an idiot and not get this advice. But I'm going to give it to you right here as well, which is this. When you're trying to stop something with your willpower, it's like pulling back a rubber band. It's going to get tight, and you can do it for some time, but at some point you pull it back far enough, it's going to snap back the other way. That's when you binge eat. That's when you overindulge. That's when you go in a porn binging section after doing nofap for 90 days or whatever it is. It doesn't work. You cannot will yourself into changing your behavior. Your behavior flows from your nature. It's who you are. If you are some super spiritual guru guy and you have that persona, that's your nature, you're going to go out and do yoga, and you're going to eat some acai berry bowls and granola and stuff like that. You're going to do stuff that someone who is like that does. If you are this super tough guy, you're going to go and you're going to do kickboxing, and you're going to go and hunt and fish. You're going to do stuff naturally that flows from your nature. Your behaviors are going to flow from that. And so if you think you're lazy and fat and dumb and you see yourself as that persona, you're going to do lazy, fat, dumb stuff. You're going to eat a bunch of junk. You're going to not do stuff. You're not going to work out. You're going to be a failure in life. So you have to change that self-image. You have to change your nature. A good book on that, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. Read that book, guys, if you haven't. It's in the membership as well as one of the books that we have a book summary and part of the book club. Now, here's the thing. This is what I want you guys to understand about how to change this. I'm going to give you the solution to it, because the question he posed here with the subject of his email is how to change your nature. I've given you some ways to do this before in the past. I'm going to give you a different way today. One of the ways I've given you in the past is to say to change your environment because you are what you brine in, and to change what you do. But I'm going to give you another view of this that's going to help you to change your nature. Don't remove behavior, add behavior to change your nature. Let's suppose you're struggling with porn. Instead of trying to stop watching porn and jerking it, why don't you just work in a co-working space where there's people around you can't do it? You're adding a behavior, you're adding something to it. Add something that is going to make it so that you're going to have to change the way that you work. Another thing that you can do is you can add so many activities and other stuff that you're too busy. Let's say you want to quit smoking. Here's a simple way to quit smoking. Live with someone who you've told you're not going to smoke, or just be around people. Like, tell everyone in your life that you're not going to smoke anymore. And then if that doesn't work, then give someone access to your credit card statement or to whatever it is that gives you the accountability, right? Now, if you want some serious accountability, again, join the Bulldog Mindset membership. We have that in there. That's why I created a group of men to give you accountability, because that is key. And you can have guys help you with this by making yourself accountable to them. But the key of this that I want you to understand here about change your nature is that it's changing the things that you do. It's not taking things away. See, if you try to stop doing something, if you try to quit porn, if you try to quit smoking, if you try to quit being lazy, it's not going to work. Stopping a behavior is difficult because it flows from your nature. You have to change your nature. How do you change your nature? By doing other things. If you want to be like someone who has a different nature, who doesn't want to go and watch porn, who doesn't want to play video games, then start acting like a person who doesn't. Think about accountability. Think about how can you create an environment and add something to your life. Create this environment and start doing the actions of the person that has the nature you'd like to have. Over time, you'll become that. I was definitely not a distance runner. I'm not built for it. I'm 230 pounds. I'm 6'3", but I became one. I've run, I think, 6 marathons and an ultra marathon, and I have run insane amounts of different distance, 70, 80-mile weeks at one point. How did I do that? How did I become that? How did I change my nature? Because I just started doing it as if I was already that person. I didn't try and stop doing something. If I took the viewpoint of I need to stop being lazy and start working out and start running, no. Instead, I said, I'm going to start training like I'm running a marathon. And then I did run a marathon, and I became a marathon runner. I didn't have to weed out the negative behavior. And guess what happens when you're running 60, 70 miles a week? You don't really have time for a lot of other stuff that you were wasting your time doing. So if you make yourself busy, if you start taking on the life of someone who doesn't have time for some of the stuff that you're indulging in, you're not going to have time for it. That's the key to this. So definitely join the membership if you haven't and get that accountability. But I want to give you a video. If you want to really transform yourself, watch this video next. I made a video on how to completely transform yourself. In this video, I talk about more than just change your nature, but how to set up your environment, how to set up everything to transform yourself. Go watch that video next if you're really serious about transforming yourself.